bug?
I'm capturing right now. I'm hitting record right now and capturing everything on this bug right here because I've been capturing every bug I've seen. Because like everybody, like Dreamcast guy rushed his fucking deformed face ass to like review this.
He rushed out a fucking impression.
Yeah, he went
and
to
it was
a review. He's like, it was a review, and I was just like, dude, this like the game's been out.
You see
for
that?
less
You see
than,
there's like a glitch for me where like it's shooting out, like a part of it shooting out. You see that?
Oh, what the f is going on my end? He's all.
You can click down. You can like zoom in. Yeah. You see what the fuck?
I'm gonna lie to you guys, I'm feeling incredibly lazy today. I don't feel like entertaining you. Not that you guys deserve it anyway. Bunch of fancy editing doesn't get me anywhere, so I'm gonna pull off a Mutahar and do the bare minimum. Plus, I'm kinda sore from playing Helldivers 2 with Kyle last night. And that itself was, well, it was definitely a live service game. If you want to hear my thoughts on it, let me know. I can make a video on it, I guess. If you care to think whether I think it's worth your money or not, let me know down in the comments. I promise you I won't be like Dreamcast guy and rush out to make a quote-unquote honest review before the game has even been published for less than 10 hours. Well, anyways, while I was playing with Kyle, we got to talk about our favorite subject, yams, and how much we do adore him. Kyle clearly more, because he's got full-on rap tracks dedicated to it. For me, yams are always secondary, because I'm more into melons, but in our Western culture, the way things are, it's always a perfectly good pair of yams that seems to disrupt society, which makes no sense, because it was Hollywood and social media that glamorized and worshipped twerking. But when the yams aren't doing that with the intention of being quote-unquote empowering for women, and are instead meant for us to look at, you know, men, then it's a problem. Even if it's just pixels on a screen. Even if the model who participated was perfectly okay with it. I mean, why wouldn't you? Her career is blowing up after this. She's clearly got no problem showing off what her mother gave her. And you know that drives the progressive types wild. Because unlike them, she was born with a gift. Very few of us are born with this thing called a gift. They were born with nothing to work with, so they spend their whole lives really upset about it. They can't have the physique they want, they can't have the bank account they want, and they want everybody else to be just as miserable and upset and lonely as they are. So to them, if they can make the image of themselves the norm, it helps them cope with this reality. And it shouldn't take your rocket science to figure out which of the two genders is doing this, because it's basically just the females that are not allowed to be appealing. It's almost as if one of the genders responsible for this is just jealous and wants to phase out that idea. Females being envious of other females, a tale as old as time itself, only this time it's digital women they're after, which is even more pathetic. And of course, what they need is a good lapdog who's obedient and willing to do their bid when necessary, otherwise known as a weak man, otherwise known as individuals like Angry Joe, Neil Druckmann, Alex from Digital Foundry, people who have actively encouraged feminists to remove what are appealing body types to men from video games. And you can't even debate me on this one, like, I am right. They have done it openly. They have admitted. When it came to Neil Druckmann, he said it on stage. Angry Joe stood up for Anita Sarkeesian and everything she stood for. Alex from Digital Foundry openly stating that we're better off with female designs like Frey from Forspoken, and that Eve's body design is outdated and unappealing. It's not a conspiracy theory. Let's quit pretending. Reality is right here in front of you, staring at you, in the form of two big cheeks. But that means nothing to the men I just named. Career image, analytics, stats, that's what matters to them. They want to make sure they have the right public opinions, which is exactly how we got to today's beta. Kareem Jovian. You heard about this guy in a previous video of mine, trying his absolute hardest to get Stellar Blade canceled, and failing, mind you, which is quite impressive. Usually, campaign ads like this take off. You know, it seems like the type of thing H-Bomber guy would retweet and like. But instead, he's been getting ratioed, and his cancellation attempt has failed multiple times, so he decided it was a good idea to walk up to, you know, some of the most rainbow flag looking folks, it's the best way I can really put it without getting in trouble, and asking them what do you think of this body? I wonder, Kareem, what would a pair of people like this think about the body like that?
I think it's just men that's
Never touched a woman in their life.
not knowing what the they look like, and so they're like, this is what women in my video games always looked like.
But I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just zip it, Frick. Keep your mouth shut. You're almost done. Your first community guideline warning is almost over. Just wait a little longer. Don't say anything. You know, call me crazy, but the people with body image issues being asked what they think of something they can't obtain doesn't seem like the best way to be asking this question. You're asking two people who think the world of themselves when they're not even anyone's first pick in their entire block. I mean, hell, their laugh gave it all away. A laugh of insecurity. One of, oh, I can't believe this is what men are attracted to. Oh, I'll never be this.
I'm gonna show you now a character that is based off of her to look like her in a video game.
I don't think it looks like her. I don't think it's based off of her. I think they kind of missed the mark. She looks 14. She looks 14.
What? Huh? This right here is proof social media will wipe us out before nuclear warfare. Look how much damage has been done to the human psyche. And on top of that, it's kind of maybe slightly racist, just a little. I often see this remark from folks who have never seen an Asian woman in their entire life. They always point out how they look underage. I don't understand, because I've seen plenty of Asian faces, and this looks like the face of an Asian woman in her late 20s/early 30s. But I know why she's so off put. I know why she insults her age, her hairdo, and overall appeal. It's because she looks like a woman. That's why this video game character actually resembles a female. You ever notice it's the ones that don't look anything like a woman that criticize the image of a woman the most? You ever notice that? But yes, thank you, green hair woman, for giving us your insight. It was so valuable. That was totally not at all offensive to Asian women. No.
It's perfectly fine to have an animation style, especially in a game, but when you're appropriating someone else's image and then changing it, it becomes an issue.
I would take it easy on this clear male feminist. He probably doesn't know about the opposite effects. You know, where the models are scanned in, like the one for Mary Jane, or the one for Abby, or the one for Fable, and how they're actually completely butchered afterwards, to the point they don't resemble the original actresses at all. With Stellar Blade's model, at least there's some similarities. You know, the body is clearly about the same. Some of the facial features match up. It's not 100% identical, because she was mainly scanned in as a reference, more than to be made to look like an exact carbon copy. But they obviously did justice to the original model. They made her look even better. I don't see that as a problem. Now show him a picture of Abby and the original actress and tell me what he says.
I just don't get her at all. Like, that nose?
The nose is very different.
Yeah, that nose is definitely not Asian. Definitely not Asian.
Come on. Do math.
And she's Asian. She's Asian.
As you are aware, Asians are known for their great sense of humor, and enormous genitalia, and respect for non-Asians, and for being polite.
They took a white woman and supplemented some white woman DNA into this girl to make her a little more white. Because that is not what I just saw.
Wow! Wow! Whoa! What was that?
I'm sorry. That was my father talking.
You, gotta work on that, man.
This is actually the first time I'm watching this part of the video. Oh my god, that is so unbelievably racist. Oh my god. I could never get away with that. Why does having green hair allow you to get away with so much unchecked racism? That was her number one instinct, though. Blame the white people. First thing she did. She has been conditioned to always blame it on the white man. How do you think the director of this game would feel hearing this? It doesn't help that she's basically an exact manifestation of everything you hear online. At this point, they may as well just retitle the video to New Yorkers React to Asian Woman for the first time ever. I mean, they can't be serious. New York is like a melting pot, right? There's a lot of Asian folks that live there. They've seen them out on the streets in public, right? Well, whatever. I mean, just imagine if someone said everything she just said right there, but the complete opposite, and was instead commenting on how they inserted a lot of black into this Asian character. A lot of people around would be like, whoa, 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 hold up. But here, she just gets to say it so freely and nobody checks her. You know, I've never heard someone unironically say Wasian. First time. It's like people just can't be people for them. The white devil's in her! The white devil! I seen it! I seen the white devil!
If they're trying to say that it's her, I don't think it is. It doesn't quite fit her face shape at all.
Yeah, I think that's not right at all. I mean, you don't need to change somebody if somebody's already beautiful like that.
Yeah,
You
100%.
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't agree with making her look better as such, but I don't think that's an accurate portrayal of what she looked like at all.
Yeah.
There's already so much whitewashing in culture that they're just doing it more, and it's not fair.
It definitely happens a lot in England as well. Like people don't really mention it as much, but it's a big thing in England.
Very much
Yeah,
so,
it's
yeah.
bad.
Whitewashing? Do you even know what that means? Because that doesn't apply here. The original actress remained an Asian model. They didn't use a white European model and replaced her. Is this that modern audience that they're trying to appeal to these days? I don't understand how anyone could look at the in-game model and the original actress and think, yeah, they whitewashed her. But most importantly, why is it so normal to see whiteness as a problem in this culture? Are you noticing that? This character isn't whitewashed, but they are so conditioned to believe whiteness is the problem that it's like their only answer. I mean, you watch this video and you start to realize you can't blame those Eastern Asians for looking down on us. Everyone here is looking like Hank Hill. So are you Chinese or Japanese?
It's her choice if she wants something like that, but the fact that they've just sort of taken it and ran with sexualization just isn't okay.
No. I mean, there's a lot of sexualization of Asian women specifically, and that's crazy.
In England, stuff like that wouldn't really happen.
It
like
wouldn't
the
fly.
sexual, no, yeah.
Oh, believe me, I can tell. I can tell you English folks are quite perplexed by the bosom. We much prefer our women remain ghastly. No. In England, this would not fly. You see, when we meant we support sex work, we meant the sex work of abominations. Yeah, you know, but it's nice to know how free of a country England is when something like this wouldn't fly over there. What a progressive nation.
In England, we wouldn't have it. We don't need to sexualize someone that much through a video game. Like, a video game should focus on the plot, the graphics, how good the storyline is, but it's just, we don't need a woman to be fake like that. It's not right.
It's not right. If you're working on the physics of the way her body moves rather than the physics of the actual game, which you can see in there does not look great, that's how you know that you've messed up.
They think this body type is fake and unrealistic. Oh my gosh. I mean, if they wanted to, they could have exaggerated it way more because it's a video game, it's not real. They can make her look however they want. You know, it's never a problem when the video game characters are hideous beyond belief to the point you can't stare at them for more than 5 minutes. Now, that's not an issue. You have to learn to accept that. But the minute you give her a figure that's appealing from all angles, you've created a problem because now players are going to be so fixated on it. Players enjoying something, men enjoying something, is clearly a problem. Yeah, but thanks to these girls, I now know never to step foot in England. Just look at the pure lunacy. They're so far gone, there's nothing you can do to fix it.
Jesus. Seems like they're over-sexualizing her.
Yeah, definitely over-sexualizing her. I get that, you know, a lot of animations are of similar artistic styles, but
doing too much.
Yeah, doing too much. Very dramatic.
I totally agree. I think it's a big issue. I think beauty standards have been a big issue for a little while, and you'd hope to see some progress. Guess it's a little disappointing.
Beta. No. Beta. Oh, because I tell you why.
Beta. Oh, hold up. What is progress to you guys exactly? Okay, how is a woman being beautiful a problem for beauty standards? What are your new standards? Are they based off of who's standing next to you right now? Is that what you're basing beauty standards off of? Because it all makes sense. Man is keeping his real thoughts to himself, isn't he? He's one of those dudes that says, I support fat models when he's next to his girl, and then she invites him to go see a fat model show, and he thinks to himself, why did I say I support this?
So if you were to change something about this,
I don't want her to look like she was robbed from a cradle. I want her to look Asian.
That's racist! Whoa! 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 Bro, what is wrong with this chick? Just imagine telling an Asian person they don't look Asian enough. Are you serious? Go and tell the studio that, right? Go and tell the creator, go tell the original model. Tell them it's the white man's fault. Let's see what they say.
She's heavily makeup, but she has like the hair of a 13-year-old. Yeah. So what are we doing here? What's the plot?
What the hair of a 13-year-old? What? What are you talking about? You mean her bangs? Is it because she has bangs? Her ponytail? Like what? The hair color? The strands? How do you identify age based on the hairstyle? It's like she's implying Asian women look like underage girls, which, believe me, no Asian woman wants to hear you ever say that. You're also saying she was whitewashed, that she has too many white features or something? Do they not see the problem with everything they are saying right now? And believe me, I'm limited in my jokes and insults and roasts. I can't risk it, but I have so much I would say right now.
But you know what?
Stellar Blade.
Oh, you know what? That's the title of a game that would do this. That's the title of a game that would do this.
Just hold back, Frit. You're almost done. Don't have an aneurysm right now. Don't hospitalize yourself again, Frit. Just don't get in trouble with YouTube. Don't get in trouble with Twitter. Stay quiet, Frit. Come on. Stay quiet. You can do this.
Whitewashing. Netflixing. I think it's just men that's never touched a woman in their life not knowing what the f they look like. And so they're like, this is what women in my video games always looked like. So why are we changing it? It's like, because it's not real, bro. You're living in a fantasy. Wake up. This isn't the Matrix. It's time. It's time to wake up.
I'm glad you said that, because do you know what the creator of this game has that you don't? A spouse. That's right, the creator's married to a woman. The creator got to meet the model in person. Meanwhile, you're out there on the New York streets meeting abominations. But again, you know, this is typical of Americans being uninformed and naive about Asian culture. This video is so unintentionally offensive, it's amazing. But it couldn't have been done without Kareem, who, if you don't know, is a hardcore Xbox fanboy, who only clipped like one person disagreeing. Everybody else had nothing but stupid shit to say, and he really thought he was gonna be able to roll with it and get things cooking. He thought he was gonna be able to get this game canceled for dear old Microsoft. Pathetic. It didn't even get that many views, and you have 2 million subs. You failure. You know what's the worst part is you couldn't even find a single Asian person to ask. You needed the opinions of green-haired chicks and British people who are so far gone. Reality is merely a concept to them. You couldn't ask a single Asian folk, hey, what do you think of this body and this female actress? It goes to show how deceptive you are and what your intentions were the whole time, you piece of shit. Anyways, I'm done with this video. There's so much to talk about, and I have so very little time, so I gotta get to it. Don't consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Do it. You have no choice. It's easy. You just click that subscribe button, and I'll keep feeding you mid-content, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.
Fritonga sucks ass.